All right, Kola, we haven't spoken in a while. Be like, say, our teams are, at this point, we are going through different things. Your Arsenal lost to Man U. My own team, we lost resoundingly to Benfica. And I don't know how to feel, but we haven't spoken since Man U Arsenal or Arsenal Man U. Because you went into a mini depression. Are you feeling better now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how people do it. The people who do this professionally, as a full career. Let me put it this way. I'm too attached to football. I'm too attached to Arsenal in a very weird way.
So am I.
Yeah, it's so weird that when we lose, it's like I go through this briefing or mourning process where I almost need to detoxify myself and detach myself a little bit to gain some sanity. Because I don't want to be, let me put it this way, I don't want to be one of those people will come online. I think getting the raw emotion when you're winning is a good feel because typically you're putting positivity out there into the world. But the raw emotions when you lose, especially if you're not in the right environment and the people will get the rawest and the worst part of you, it doesn't make sense, especially for a team that has given so much this season already. The Manchester United game was one of the
Yeah.
wildest game I've seen this season from us, in the sense that I couldn't make sense of the performance. It was tepid. It lacked imagination. It's like we didn't know what to do in the final third. We made so many uncharacteristic error, like Zubimendi in passing. That changed the game, right? The first 30 minutes of that game, we had them
Yes.
by the throat. But when you give a team like United, they have a lot of exceptional footballers, and you give them the initiative in the game and you don't kill them when you need to kill them. And also, they're riding this wave of good form and good positivity right now. The only recipe in that situation is disaster, right? So many of our key players underperformed. Odegaard, Rice wasn't as good as it needs to be. Zubimendi, so many unforced errors. Even our defenders, like I'm seeing so many strange things. But that happens when I finally sat down and I thought about it. These same things happen for any big massive title winning teams in the last 20 years. It's just that we forgot, right? Because when you win the league, everybody forgets what happens. But this kind of games, it's happened so many times. So the only thing I want to put out there, and especially I know you haven't asked the question, this is for the fans, right? The Arsenal fans out there. The only thing you can do right now is to support your team, right? My brother called me immediately after the game, was trying to chat about the game. I'm like, bro, can't put this negativity. These players already know. They already have the weight of pressure, the weight of expectation on them. We haven't won a league title in 20 years. We haven't won a big trophy in a long time. We haven't won any trophy in 5 years. What do you think about the game against United? How did you see the game?
That game played out the way a lot of Man U games against
Yeah,
Arsenal usually play out. Even when you are significantly better than them,
it's always close.
they still throw. It's always very close. They still
Yeah.
throw their punches and things like that. And again, for Arsenal fans who are like going off the rails on this, I'll just point out a couple of things. Number one, the first goal came as a result of an error from Zubimendi. Typically, that guy know they make mistake. Yet, typically, the guy doesn't make mistakes.
Not that kind
Typically,
of
he's
mistake.
very efficient. Right. Number two, Dorgu scored one of the most incredible goals
Is that an handball
in the
though?
season, whether handball or not. I'm
Yeah, but
saying
it's strange to me
if
that
Dorgu,
nobody said anything about that. Like I thought when you handle the ball on your way to scoring a goal, it's because they canceled the goal unless the rules have changed. They've canceled our goal a couple of times with things
yeah.
like that. So I wasn't
So
particularly sure.
you could look at that as well. But number three,
Konya,
the third goal by Cunha
another
was
exceptional
also a
goal.
goal that like it's just a goal like everything they did on that day, just
It clicked.
everything just came together for them. It clicked. You guys scored two goals, right? For them on most days you'd win any game scoring two goals because you have a very good defensive back line that typically doesn't allow the opponents to score goals. Now, here is my problem with Arsenal. I am not panicking whatsoever. In fact, I think my belief in you guys, which has been long standing, I don't take for this Arsenal bandwagon, right?
Yeah,
And which I see be say, there is a coaching imprint on Arsenal sometimes where I think your players are a little limited, either due to the instructions they've been given or due to the pressure getting to them. Like, for example, attacking players like Odegaard, when he's in the middle of the field, right? I see a lot of sideways passing. Now, that might be because, United in the game, they went into that game sitting and counter attacking.
yep.
That was their game plan that day.
So it's not a lot of
But my
space.
point is, it's not a lot of space. But I think one thing I would really, really expect from you guys moving forward is that, as always, that my only critique of Arteta usually is that nobody is going to hand you that league.
You gotta go
You
get it.
have to go win it.
Yep. You've always
Your
said that.
players, they sometimes play as though they are being overtly cautious. And when that happens, you see, there's a difference between you having the ball, making a forward pass, and you having the ball, making a sideways pass. Now, those may be the two options you have, but there's something about making that forward pass and
That
teams being
commits.
able to say, okay, these guys are going to make,
You need to be able to commit the opponent to think you're gonna do it, even when you're not gonna do it. Because typically, what happens
even
when
when you are not
Odegaard
going to do it.
when Odegaard plays now, what I've noticed is it makes the easy pass for every time. You just pass to Saka, let Saka do something. Pass to Saka, let Saka do something. And typically Odegaard takes risk.
That's my
Think I think it's not just confidence right now. I think the problem is not a coaching thing.
Yeah, towards the end of last season and this new season, I've seen a part of him that's gotten really cautious.
Yeah.
And
He's playing within
I'm
himself.
hoping that I'm hoping that the return of Kai Havertz can maybe open up a little more in the attacking region for Arsenal. But when teams see that, even when they are sitting, when they have like 10 players behind the ball, when they have that sense that these people are comfortable holding the possession and having like 65% possession,
They'll
ball
let you.
possession, and the intricate passes that will kill a team or that would destabilize a defense line or that would destabilize a team, when those passes are not there, I think that's where I have a problem with Arsenal. Now, when teams decide to play
They
with
get
you,
they
like
get killed.
go back and forth, they usually get killed.
Yeah,
But when teams say, you know what, we
but
see that when we sit back,
no team
they
does that in the
they
Premier
get
League.
cautious.
No
No,
team
I
comes
get
out to
it.
play.
But in spite of them not doing that, I'm saying in spite of them not doing that,
We can do
you
better.
as Arsenal, you have to do better. You have to make sure that the like you have, whether they are the perfect fit or not, you have quality players, you have outstanding players. Okay. And in fact, I think you guys are getting to a point where you really do not have many avenues to score goals. Like, it's looking, when the game gets tight, that's when you put more emphasis on your corner kicks and things like that. Typically, like being too cautious, I think it happened against Man City when you played the 1-1 draw. It happened against Man U and you lost. It happened against Liverpool when what's it called? That guy scored that free kick. Okay.
You
I'm
know, I
seeing a
disagree.
pattern where you
I disagree on some of these points. Really, honestly,
okay,
at the end of the day,
okay,
points are not too far off. But I disagree within the confines of the game that you said were too cautious. I'll give you an example. We played Aston Villa in the
okay.
first half of that game. We were so open, more open
Mhm.
than I've ever seen us being open in 2 years. But we won that game, what, 4-1, 5-1 against Liverpool.
Yeah. But no, no, no. I'm not complaining about you being open. I'm complaining about you
You're complaining
being
about us being cautious.
passive with your passing.
Yeah, what I'm
No,
saying,
no,
okay,
being passive with the passing.
yeah, I agree with that. But the problem is the
So,
reason
like for
why that is,
example,
I
let me
don't.
give you an example. Let me
Okay,
give you an example. Let me give you an example. If Arsenal had someone like Kevin De Bruyne, for example, in that team, you are very sure that Kevin De Bruyne, whether he succeeds or not, will send in some very dangerous passes, like maybe 6 to 7 times in a game, right?
yeah,
Maybe out of that 6 or 7, only 2 or 3 would succeed. Maybe 1 or 2 would lead to a goal or a pre-assist, right? But you guys don't have that. Odegaard is a player who has the profile, who has the talent to create that same fear in
Yeah,
the opponent.
but it's
But
unfair.
when
It's unfair to judge.
no, it's
Um,
not unfair.
no, it's unfair to
It's
judge
not unfair.
Odegaard based on what he is not. He's not that type of player. We don't have
He's a
that type of player.
central attacking midfielder.
Yeah, but he isn't a Bruno Fernandes kind of player. He isn't a Kevin De Bruyne kind of player. Those guys, their first instinct
That
always is to pass forward. You can't coach that out of them. You get what I mean?
what's Odegaard's first instinct?
Is to control the game.
To keep the ball, to protect,
Yes,
to you
to control
can't
the game.
control the game. You can't control the game in the playing behind the striker, bro. You are there for assist, creating
Yeah, but
opportunities,
I'm
creating
not.
chances.
But we're arguing two different things now, right? If you're telling me that,
I'm saying to you that if you had Kevin De Bruyne in Odegaard's position right now,
but we don't. So we shouldn't make that judgment.
I
You get what I
know
mean?
I'm trying to make a comparison here. I'm trying to make a comparison here. A lot of his passes are to the side, to Saka. 1-2, 1-2. Bro, those things, they limit you as a team.
So I'm
In
looking at it
fact, those
differently.
things
Although
get your team. They get your team to a point where you now have to you now need to rely so much on those corner kicks and things like that.
no, I'm looking at it differently.
They
I
do.
want, what I want personally from Ateta is, I think the reason why all of this Odegaard issue is showing more is the kind of striker that we have now, right? We're playing different now to when we had Kai Havertz. Because the only person that seems to have worked perfectly for Odegaard was the first 4 months under Gabriel Jesus and the last six,
No.
7 months
I
under
don't
Kai Havertz.
I'm not accepting that excuse. I'm not. I'm
No, no,
not accepting that excuse.
I'm
You know
giving
you
you a
have a
reason.
you
It's
know
not,
you
it's not
have
an
a
excuse.
striker. No, you know you have a striker right now who
Yeah, but
prefers to
you're not
who
listening.
prefers
There is no
physicality.
space to
No.
run
You can't tell
to.
me I'm not listening. Listen. Whether there's no space, your striker now loves physicality. He loves to dwell.
What does that
Change
mean?
up your game.
Into what game? Are you going to pass into where there is no space to pass to? You need your striker to play intelligent football. If there is no space where you're asking me to cross the ball into, you need to come short. You need to know when to come combine with Saka and Odegaard so that another person can crash the box. It's not just football. It's not just about get the ball to the striker. It's not Erling Haaland. Nobody's Erling Haaland. Nobody has the ability Erling Haaland has to almost always be in the right position without being offside, finding space. 99.9% of strikers in the world can't. The problem Gyökeres have is it makes one run, right? Those runs in the Champions League, there is space. You can see grass in front of you where a midfielder can punch the ball into. Odegaard will look, should I try this? You can tell me he should try more, right? But the conversation is,
Again, all of
let me
this is
finish this.
fine and good. If
This is very
all
important.
of this is fine, all of this is okay.
This is very important. What I'm seeing is we
Yeah.
need to reduce the work that our wingers do trying to come back. If we say we have a good defense, let's trust this defense to defend one on one so that when people attack us too, when we get the ball back, our attackers can be in the right position. What usually happens is Saka and Trossard or Martinelli are tracking back so much that when we get the ball back, we don't have what, like machines like Yaya Toure or midfielders like that can just dribble 4 or 5 players, right? You don't have your attacking players in the right position to get the ball and do the damage. So now you have to play slow build up again and we need to let maybe Saka, just leave Saka up the field. You get what I mean? Let him stay up the field and have the energy to attack.
That's
That is the
fair.
way I'm looking at it. Most people just
That's fair.
Odegaard, this Odegaard. Are you watching the same game? There's barely any space to do anything. What teams do now is they just play 5 midfielders, 5 defenders. Just wait. Wait for us to come to them, right? Leave Saka up the field. Saka does too much defensive work. He's a superstar, right? He needs to be left up the field, stay right there with Gyökeres or Havertz, so when we get the ball back and get the ball to them, they have strength in their legs. You and I have played football. Imagine I'm tracking back, right? Then after tracking back, we win the ball back. Now you want me to dribble 1 or 2 people to do something. It's difficult. You gotta let that responsibility to a Saka and let's say, bro, just stay high up. When we win the ball, we're gonna win the ball back. For Timber is the best defensive right back in the league. Let him do his job and get the ball to you. I'm more concerned about that than all this
That's
Odegaard
fair.
is they need to have somebody to pass to. It can't just be Gyökeres. Somebody needs to be there as a foil. I
Again,
think we'll spend too much
all I'm
time on
saying
this,
is
but
whatever whatever Arteta is doing that makes it seem like in the biggest of games you guys play cautiously.
Mhm.
He has to begin to undo it because
You know the
again,
you know this you
you
know the
have the
craziest thing.
team.
In the last 3 years, we've played the same
Mm-hmm,
way in the biggest games, and we've won most of those games. Now
mm,
this year, we're not. In the
well,
last 3 years, right? We've played like this. We've always played cautiously in the big games, and we used to win, right? We won against Manchester United on away. We beat Manchester City. We beat Liverpool. We beat so many teams. But now this year it's flipped. It's like we're playing the same way, but we're not getting the result. The only difference this year is we don't have Havertz. Really, I'm telling you. The only
again,
difference this year is in the
in those three
biggest games.
years, in
Go
in
watch
those
those
three
games.
years, in
Mhm.
those 3 years,
We
we
haven't
came
won the league.
second.
Yeah.
We need
To win the
yes,
league.
we need
I don't
first
care.
this
I
season.
don't care if we win
And
the
I'm saying
I don't care if we win against the big teams or not, right? So many big teams, so many times
just win the league.
just win the league. I don't give a shit. Sorry, guys, for my language.
Just
I
win the
don't
league.
care.
Yeah.
Just get the job done. We are into the Carabao Cup semi-final. We have Chelsea at Emirates. Let's make sure we get that through. We're in the FA Cup fourth round, right? We have the
Yes.
squad to keep going in these competitions. We're in the Champions League. We have the players to win the Champions League. We're in the league, 4 points ahead. It's enough points. We're good enough. We're better than every other team in the league. I believe it. The fans need to believe it too. We're gonna get some
Yes.
hiccups along the way. Support your team, push them through. Right? They're saying you think these players are not saying all this
I don't have
negativity?
anything against the fans. Fans are always going to be fans. They can say whatever they want. I am saying the coach should notice when his teams get tight. When you are getting tight, intervene. Let them know. Play loose. That's all you need. Shalom.
All right, bro. Talk later.